Okay, T-Pain is the latest artist to sell his publishing to Harbor View Equity, I believe that's what they called. He sold his publishing catalog and select masters to Harbor View Equity. He talked about making bad business decisions, working harder, not smarter. Remember, he said I tried to hop on every song, every single I could get, and I think he said he bought a luxury car. I think it was a Maybach, and he blew out the radiator. Didn't have the money to fix the radiator. And when you talk to people around the way about certain cars that they want, women, I want a BMW truck, I want this, that, and the third, and then they find out the harsh reality is hundreds of dollars for the oil change. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find parts, especially if something happened because it's overseas cars. Now, if you live in a city like Detroit where it's a car city and they got car parts laying everywhere, that's a different story. You can find parts when it's hard to find. You can just go pull them sometimes. So or they pull them for you, or you can find them, right? So that's why you try to explain to people when they want luxury cars, it comes with a luxury upkeep. Let alone, not even talking about you paying the car note and the insurance, it's luxury upkeep. So yeah, that's why a lot of people choose to kind of go with domestic or a lesser version of the foreign cars like Toyotas, Hondas. The parts may be a little bit more pricier than the domestic stuff, but the labor is cheaper. You know what I'm saying? The design is a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So the labor is cheaper. So that's another interesting fact about it. But yeah, he sold his catalog, and I told y'all about he doing like Twitch now. He doing Twitch, and he doing songs here and there. I think he got a song with Gorilla. I was in the car with my girl. She was playing a song with him and Gorilla, whatever. I don't be knowing the songs and shit like that like I used to. But I told people, man, like people cannot afford to work. That's why I said when you start having all these, creating all these liabilities, and I don't say this to be disrespectful, kids out of wedlock, you start buying these cars, you start giving people money, tricking with these hoes. Once you kind of break it down, it's kind of like you shopping for the day. You ain't doing nothing major. You spend a couple dollars you buy a couple things at Family Dollar. You might go to Walmart, spend a couple things there. You might go, if you're a woman, you might go to the Mac store, buy a couple things, and these little things, $10, $5. But once you add it up, you spend $200-$300 like that. That's the same way you look at it. Some of these people overhead, when you add children out of wedlock. And then, even if you just want to keep a roster of women, that's why a lot of older guys tell men about rosters. Like, younger men, like, rosters really ain't worth it. Because women, one, don't want to play their position. They all want to be number one. And two, the time that you spend on all of them, you could be spending that and putting that back into yourself. And then, you become a resource. Oh, I need this, I need that, you need that. Before you know it, all that time and money you put into them, you could have invested that somewhere else. That's why you see a lot of older men who ain't really never struggled with women, you know what I'm saying, even when they come up on some money. They just rather have one woman. It's less stressful. They talk about polygamy, you know what I'm saying, but they'll never tell you the bad side about polygamy. So that's why you see a lot of dudes just, they just play the monogamous role. Because it's more productive, it's less stressful. But when you start creating all these, and he was married the whole time, by the way, I'm just saying in general, he was married. When you start doing all this and you start spending this luxury stuff, and you start spending money here and there, and creating all these kids out of like tricking with this girl, that girl, taking this girl out to eat, doing this. After a while, that money started getting funny. That money started getting funny. So yeah, man, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it, bro. Quite frankly, you gotta watch it. So, but yeah, man, these guys, they was balling. They thought they was gonna ball forever. It's no different than the league. It's no different than the league. You have in music, I mean, your stretch run ain't that long to begin with, no way. You're lucky if you're a Jay-Z, an LL Cool J, a Ludacris. You know what I'm saying? So rappers, a lot of them be out there broke anyway. They don't really start making money unless they got a good deal up front. They was independent and they signed a good deal to begin with. Or, you know, they get to that second deal. That's when the money started coming in and they get it right. You know? So yeah, man, I mean, you know, a lot of these guys are just saying, okay, I sell my catalog. And if somebody paying you, they didn't disclose the terms. Let's say they gave them $50 million for the catalog, right? You think they're not spending $50 million on the catalog and expecting to make $100 million. They expecting to make hundreds of $millions off this catalog and publishing. You know, but you got to think about it. When you're dealing with them, you got to wait for them publishing checks, and they not punctual at all. Remember, Cassidy rapped about it. He said, you know, royalty checks come once in the blue moon. My son will be too soon. So whenever the royalty checks come, they come. And then they not be right. You got to wait for the next one to come. You know what I'm saying? So T-Pain just front loaded it. Instead of hitting singles and doubles and maybe a triple here and there, he just got it up front. That's why they was always kind of telling me when I was coming up, live below your means. And that's why when you hear the conversation about women make more money than men, that's not true. Even in the black community, that's not true. They may go be more educated by getting degrees and all that type of stuff, but that don't make them more educated when you start talking about social skills and all that other stuff and making smart moves and smart investments and being smart and living below your means. Most women live at their means, or shit, let's be real, above their means. Most of these athletes and actors, they live above their means. They live above their means. And most responsible adults, most single men, they know I can live here, but they live here. Minimum. You know, I have all this shit, but they know if shit hit the fan, guess what? This gap that I got from here to here, that's savings. You know, that's flexibility. You know, if something happened, I'll be all right. So I get back on my feet. You know what I'm saying? So they keep that overhead low. And I think a lot of dudes, to be honest, they overhead to be a lot lower if they cook for themselves and they didn't eat out as much. Well, it'd be funny, man. You know, a girl was like, yeah, man, you know, most guys that single stay by themselves, they don't cook. I cook. I'm thinking about doing like one of the meal prep programs and shit from like a factory or something. I'm thinking about it. But I don't mind cooking. It's just, you know, with the dog and shit, y'all know we gotta walk him and all that, and, you know, make sure he good, spend time with him. But I cook. You know, I cook in a heartbeat. So, you know, and you feel better when you cook your own food and know what you're putting in it. But yeah, when you talking about these selling their catalog, man, it's because a lot of these people mess their money up. Trying to keep up with a lifestyle. And had they been conservative, they would have lasted longer. Buying the chain and jewelry, and as a rapper, you know, entertainment kind of comes with the lifestyle, I feel it. But really, you know, save it or invest it. Or both. So it's disturbing how many, you know, entertainers, you know, selling their catalog. They can't wait. They need their money up front. And in the long haul, if they ran through that money in their prime, and with inflation right now, they're going to run through that money they got now. They're going to run through that money they got now. They more wiser, but inflation eat the game up. So a lot of these guys wasn't smart.